Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Darren Green. You already know what it is. It's the Darren Green Show. I'm here with my co-host Amma.
Hello,
Okay,
everyone.
we got
Hi.
we got some surprises today. Yeah, I mean this is episode 1987, I think, right? Because last one was 196, 186. Because I did we you wasn't there, but I did a show last Saturday. Yeah, so it's just we moving along. How you been?
I've been good. Just like had a rough, busy week last week, but this week's
Mm-hmm.
been a little bit better. I'm able to be a little bit more productive and getting things done to get me, because people have those days. I was having like one of those little depressing moments. You know what I'm saying? Where you gotta like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
regroup, and I'm regrouping myself right now. So like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing 1,000 times better.
Right. I feel like I'm burnt
Oh
out.
yeah, and I
Like,
almost died last week.
yeah, because you wasn't here
Boy,
last week, and I was worried because I know you said you were sick, and what was going on?
boy. So I had a cute little business meeting with a couple of people
Mm-hmm.
about a job, but like they made it like a business type of offer. It was, you know. So they were
Mm-hmm.
like, come to the office, let's talk. But yeah, I'm ordering lunch for everybody. Do you eat Peruvian food? And mind you, I've had Peruvian food like once, or maybe twice. But she ordered it. It was delicious. I'm not gonna hold you. So I was
Mm-hmm.
dogging it, like dogging
So
it.
you ate
But the
a lot of it.
next
Okay.
morning, like I had like sharp pains in my stomach. Like somebody was like almost ripping, trying to like get out my stomach, like type of thing. It was
Right.
just
Oh my goodness.
the most painful feeling in the world. Like to the point where I was just like in the bathroom. I was like, something got to give. Like this doesn't make sense. Like it got to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I was just throwing up everything, no water, like I needed energy. I had no energy. Like
Yeah. No
couldn't
energy.
eat. Every
Mm-hmm.
time I ate, I'm
You got
thinking
sick.
like somebody told me like it was a stomach virus going around. So I'm like maybe I could have caught it because it was like everything I was eating was not. I could not hold it down.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you're better. Um.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like for me, like I said, this week drained me. Okay, I feel like working 40 hours a damn. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Okay, but you know
Where
what?
you
We get.
working at
I
now?
I have to do the things. I'm still working at H&R Block, but more recently, I just got a job offer at Wells Fargo. I'll be a bank teller. Period. We gonna. I'm
Nice.
so I actually went in to get fingerprinted today. So everything is official and we're just going to make a transition to from this place to that place. But I'm just like, damn, I need a break. Because I'm doing this and I'm also doing like
Congratulations.
content creating, which is very like that could be draining as well too, but I love doing this, so it's not a big deal. But anyway, I'm happy to announce, right, that we are once again joined by rapper, LGBTQ advocate, entrepreneur, cast of the award-winning web reality series that is The Circle NYC, and former co-host of this podcast, Prince Derek Dahl. Here we
Hey,
go. Here we go.
hello,
Okay.
darlings. Hey,
Hello,
y'all.
handsome.
Oh, now we got a feature with Yoshi. Oh my goodness.
Hey,
Yes.
they hams, child. This light come on. They be ready to see what's going on.
What's going on,
Oh,
child? I mean, so how's it been? I mean, I know you did a lot of interviews recently, so this is really going to be more of a conversation. This is a catch up, okay? Because we have got to catch up on a lot that's happened, okay? I
Yeah.
think the last time we actually met up, it was your birthday party at what it was.
Yeah,
I
little
know it was in New
Tijuana.
York. Mm,
Little Tijuana.
when I
Yeah, that
tell
was a
you
great
that
night.
that was a scene.
mm-hmm.
Okay. And you came in with the Lady Gaga. I was just like, what's going on? I was like, oh yes. I was here for it. I
Yes.
see I seen you there too, Alma. That's the well, we met when we did the photo shoot for the podcast, the cover art, but
We
like
re-met
before,
again. I came. I was
yeah.
like, hey, y'all. I ain't
I
know
was
this
like,
was gonna
"Ah,
be
yeah, that
Yes.
was a fun
I
night
love
though.
that. It was.
Mhm.
it was a great experience. I was talking to one of my friends the other day because my birthday is in 2 weeks. So everybody's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I was like, "I don't think anything in the next 4 or 5 years is going to top my birthday last year." Mainly because it was not just my birthday. I had a listening party for music that I had been working on that I was excited about, and got a chance to see people really vibe to it and receive it and just have a good time. And so it was a real celebration considering everything that I'd gone through up to that point, and just to be surrounded by people that I love and care for and that love and support me, and for us to just have a good time. And it was fun. It was a moment. Um, and so this one's probably going to be a little more low key and a little more childish, but yeah, it was a great time, and I'm glad that you all finally connected. I know my cousin was like, I want to do a podcast. I want to do a podcast. And I think we were trying to get Amma on the show before, and we were trying to bring another co-host on. Remember?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess it just didn't work out because I think scheduling, and Amma was going through some other things too. So I'm glad that it worked out the way that it did. So welcome to the Darren Green Show.
Welcome, yes. No, she is. I love Amma. She brings something to the show that I always wanted. Just like I always love the idea of having like a panel type of podcast with like multiple people, and having three. More is the merrier. I'm here for it. Here for whoever wants to come on and join. But you've been to a lot of places recently too, because I know you went to the VMA Awards. You did the red carpet for them. You was you interviewed a couple people. You interviewed Saucy Santana. I mean, that was like seeing you do that, because I think I was doing a watch party, and I was like looking at the red carpet, and I was looking on Instagram and seeing what people had on. I mean, like I think I seen you on Pop Crave because they retweeted your red carpet look, and I was just like, oh my goodness, like that is just so amazing that I know someone that is literally doing the things. Okay. And you saw Nikki. I know you did. Look,
I did. I was there. I was in the building, getting my life.
Yeah. It's so interesting. I know me and Amma talked about it, like how they're doing the VMAs in Newark now. It's now their second time, which is like a big thing for Jersey. It's a big thing for Newark as well. But really, like I would never thought that a place like a award show would be in Jersey.
Well, I mean, they utilize Prudential Center all the time. Even when people book their New York shows, they consider Newark to be like a mini NYC. And we're pushing now, even with the city, is that no, when you book these shows or when you listen to them on your website, list it as a Jersey site. It's not just I'll be in New York performing at Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. No, you're going to be performing in New Jersey, in Newark. Okay, if you perform in New York, they got all them stadiums. You can go to Madison Square Garden, go to Barclays. You know what I mean? But when you come to Prudential, when you come to Newark, you're in Jersey. So I think it's a great look, and I was just just glad to be there and to kind of like live my dreams out loud too. So it was it was fun, and I can't wait to see what happens next.
Yeah, the VMA Awards. That was always one of my favorite awards because they were fair. One with how they issue out their awards. I love that they gave Nikki the Nikki. That's not the Nikki Vanguard,
right? Period. The Nikki Vanguard Award. Okay.
I'm like definitely overdue. Let's be very clear. But that's. I'm happy that you had that experience. Now when it comes to music, because I know you just dropped like a mixtape. Gold Rush X. That, let me just tell you, I love the Chop remix, but my personal favorite is All Right, because I'm in the pop. I love me a good pop record. Okay, and this is like almost dance pop. I love it. It's catchy. So I'm glad that you're doing that, but also is the album, what's going on with that? Like, are we? Because I know I heard some snippets, I heard some songs and stuff like that. Is it finalized? What's going on with that?
So, crazy story about the album. So the album is still coming, right? Okay. So me doing Gold Rush X, it was literally, I had forgotten to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of my first EP, which was Gold Rush. that came out in December 12th, 2012. And I was going through some of my social media, and one of the memories popped up, and it was like, oh, 9 years. It was like, oh, snap. I was like, my first EP is 10 years old. Like, I'm literally a vet now. Like, I've been doing this for over a decade. Like, I've been pursuing my dreams and writing and recording and living and learning and all this stuff for over a decade. And I really wanted to be able to celebrate it. I wanted to be able to give my fans who remembered some of those songs from the first time, give them a reimagination of it, remastering, different quality. And I was like, okay, well, people have been asking me about a Chop remix if I'm going to do one. And there's still 2 other remixes of Chop that are coming with the album.
I'm excited because I love Chop.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? It's a celebration. Like, I spent New Year in Curacao. And we brought the New Year in on the beach at a big ass dance party. And I remember what that vibe was like. You know, people out there in the beach drinking and partying. And so when I thought about doing the remix of Chop, I produced that myself. I found my beat and I mixed it and engineered and stuff like that, because I was like, that's what I had in my head. And that's what I wanted to bring the energy for this year, is literally like just being, you know, fully present and having a good time. That beat is such a dominating kind of beat, like it like it grabs you. So I was like, that's how I want to walk into rooms this year. That's what I want to feel. That's the vibe I want to give. And so I literally put that together in like maybe 2 weeks, like a week or 2 weeks. And I had beats from 8 years ago that I'd written to that I'd never recorded, because it's like, oh, I had no money to go to studio time and all these things that happen in life, right? Now I'm in a place where I'm able to freely create. And so I was like, I don't have any excuses anymore. So let me just go ahead and record this. Let me see what it would sound like. And I did, and it came out really nice. And it was just an offering, you know, just a layover until the album is ready. But the album is coming. I have three songs that I'm waiting to finish. I have one song that's out for a collaboration that I'm waiting to hear back on.
Okay.
And it could definitely be a game changer for me in my career if it gets in on time. But I'm not in a rush anymore, right? I'm not in a rush. The album is coming. Trophy season is coming. Okay, trophy season is coming. You all will get Jumanji. You're gonna get Mirror. Okay, you're gonna get Bring That. You're gonna get Bring the Doll Out. You're gonna get all of those things that you've been hearing me use on social media. So the album is coming. It'll be out sooner than you think, actually.
Okay, I thought you was about to give us a little September, spring, summer.
I'm thinking it's gonna drop on his birthday. That's why I'm scared. I feel like that's something that he might do. He said he wants a subtle event. Yeah, you want a subtle birthday, baby?
This is gonna be
that's nice enough. I could drop it and y'all can listen.
It's just a nice little low key. I will not confirm nor deny said allegation. I won't confirm or deny.
Look at Amma getting trying to get.
But I'll just say that I'm just gonna say that it's coming. When the thing drop, just make sure the thing.
Now you say you have 2 different remixes for Chop. So I mean, is there going to be? Is that the one with? You're going to have a feature with that one? You think you might have a
So the other 2 remixes of Chop will have other featured artists. One of them will have 2 other artists on it, and then the other one will be I'll just say this. So one of them is going to be a Jersey club mix. And I'm going to I'll have a Jersey artist on that one. So yeah, it's going to be, you know, I didn't think that Chop was going to be that girl like that, but
what? When you played that song, when we was in like, I think my school studio, and I heard it for the first time before you even dropped it. Like, I was like, I was like, this is catchy. The lyrics, like the way that you're rapping on here, I was like, this, you ate okay, people are gonna like this. People are gonna flock to this. And when you dropped it and it got the reception that it got, like, I was like,
Chop did this big one.
Yeah.
And I was surprised, like, damn, I really was just talking shit. I was just popping my shit. But all right. We like that.
That's how it work. That's how it work out, child. You talk your shit and then it gets what it gets the reception that it gets. So yeah, let me see if there's anything. So another topic. You being on the Circle NYC. Okay, I definitely watched you a lot in the first season. I wish you would have been on there a little bit more, but I think
really?
I don't think I've seen you. I'm not trying to say that they didn't give you enough screen time or anything like that, but like, I don't know. I mean, I felt like I didn't see you a lot.
Oh.
I mean, I've seen you in every episode, but it wasn't like
I was in every episode, and of all the other cast members, I had the most scenes. I had the most individual scenes.
Okay.
Yeah, which is why I was a lead. So I think that because of how many people we were working with last time, it was kind of hard for them to kind of like put the stories together. And because I was open and willing to tape, there was only 2 things that I missed. But the reason we have a season 6 coming is because in the middle of season 5, it got to the point where I was showing up for everything and they weren't. And I was not about to continue to keep coming from Jersey to film or rearranging my schedule when people who live 10, 15 minutes away from the place we taping at ain't showing up. And so there was a plea to, we need new people. And the producers got together, as you saw on the season finale, and they got a call and they would either decide to cut our season short and recast for another season, or they were going to add people into our season. Ultimately they decided we're just going to close this season out and then we're going to bring in new people and we'll just start over. So season 6 is kind of like an extension. I literally taped for almost a whole year consistently. Like I taped all year long from October 2021 to I think July, August of 2022. So I taped for a very long time, like almost a whole year of just taping back to back. So I think it was a great introduction though. I didn't have any issues with how many scenes I was in. The fans received me well and I was grateful for that. It was just an opportunity for me to share my story. So I really enjoyed that season.
All right.
But you'll see enough of me.
Well, I was here at first. I was watching it, just to see. I'm like, I want to see what they're going on. But you were like new to the show too, and it could have been like, hey, people that were there before. It's probably a little bit more seniority to certain things. But season 6 is coming, and I was about to ask for like a taste of what's to come, but we actually have a video, a little sneak peek of what's to come on season 6 of the Circle NYC. We're gonna play it now, and then we're gonna talk about it because I already got some things to say.
A lot of different energies going on. You can tell off the rip that you're gonna have some that are gonna be firecrackers, and then you have some that are probably gonna be duds. But I'm interested in getting to know them individually. But as a group, I think that we may have found our magic mix.
I'm prepared for anything.
Child, be prepared, because these kids give the absolute most.
Leave me the fuck alone! Leave me the fuck alone! Leave me alone! Shit! Leave me the fuck alone! Because now you're gonna be tight. And you don't want that type of smoke. So leave me alone. Period. What you taking your shit off for? You gotta work 3 times. But what I'm saying is, I don't want me alone. Leave me alone.
Spoke in the conversation, grown grown ass man. So if you don't
right.
want nothing to
Grown
do,
ass
then
man, I'll
the
beat
fuck
your
up.
ass.
You're
Don't
not gonna
play
who
with me.
ass are you beating? Who ass are you
Don't
beating?
play with
Yo,
me.
you're not-
Now you can suck my dick and that's what I'm saying. I'm the one. I'm the one.
You gonna get stand up like this in front of these white people? In front of these white people like this?
And then you turn around and then
No, it wasn't. I asked you.
I grabbed your
I
hand and
asked
didn't
you
snatch
when I had you by your neck at that sink, what did I say to you? I looked you in your eyes, and what did I say to you? Don't do that.
Get it? No, you don't.
You got the game fucked up.
How? Okay, so
First off, my first
Yeah.
question is, where were your clothes?
Yeah, so after looking at that, I was like, damn, that does look crazy. Like, why am I'm literally sitting here arguing with this boy in a cowboy hat and a thong. So that night, there was an event that that we had. It was the P Valley party, and you'll get a chance to see the episode. And you probably, if you see the super trailer on YouTube, you can see some other clips from the party. So you'll see everybody else had on their sexy stuff too. It's just that I hadn't changed out of my stuff yet. When that happened, right? I hadn't changed back into my regular clothes. But yeah, it was a themed party, and so that's why I was dressed like a.
I was wondering. I'm like, what's going on here?
Well, I was like, I thought it was like a photo shoot or something that you went. I was like, girl, what's going on? And I see at first when I seen it, I didn't think that he was arguing at you. I thought the way you looked in that moment for a second, I was like, oh, maybe you're trying to be like the peacekeeper or something like that. And he's arguing with somebody else. I'm like, oh, he's talking to you like that? Because when you took off the necklace, I'm like, oh, are we doing this? Are we?
Right. I mean, once somebody tells you that you don't want the smoke, to me, that's where I'm from. Like, you can't talk to me like that. Like, that's a threat to me. Like, what are you talking about? So if you listen to it, I kept asking, like, what do you mean I don't want the smoke? What smoke don't I want? Like, what are you talking about? And I think that, you know, as you watch the season, you'll get a chance to see why things escalated the way that they did. There was a situation that happened off camera that was brought on camera that got absolutely exacerbated. Okay. And I think I had enough. So yeah, but I mean, you have to watch it and see how it plays out.
Right.
I think that you know, it does for a lot of the fans who, you know, were introduced to me on season 5. Like, y'all know I'm a peacekeeper. Like, I'm about my business. I'm about my money. I'm about my brand. I want everybody to have a good time. And so it was a shocker to them. It's like, oh, I don't think we're gonna see Derek in this way. But like, you know, I'm a human being, and you also, you know, this is an opportunity for you to get a chance to really know us and see us in a vulnerable way. And this was one of those times where you got to see the other side of me, you know. And I'm not making any apologies at the moment about anything that people will see this season. Because it's my truth, right? I am going to, if I'm going to do reality TV, I feel like I'm obligated to really show up as myself. And, you know, I have the range, okay? I have the range. And people who really know me, and you know I'm from Shreveport, you know where I'm from, and you know how deeply I love my friends, and like how intentional I am about wanting to see people experience the best of themselves too. Like, if there's something I can do to help somebody, I'll do it, just because I feel like that's how we're supposed to do this. That's how everybody's supposed to do this life thing that we're doing. And some people, I realize, like, there are other people out in the world who really just only think about themselves and haven't really tapped in yet. And so it was hard to navigate, especially with so many people. This is the largest cast in LGBT reality's history. I think there's like 14 or 15 of us on the cast. for season 6. And so the environment was created to where there was opportunity for drama everywhere.
Yeah.
And my thing was like, and y'all know me, let me stay out the way, child, because where the food and where's the bag? Okay. Y'all know why I came here. Where is the food? Okay. And are we talking about how to make more money?
Yeah. But with reality TV, it's always the person people try to attack the person that is like the most like bipartisan in the fact that, you know, they're not trying to start anything, but, you know, people that get on, they're trying to get some type of name for themselves and want to get some type of optics. Okay. Clout. That's
I don't know.
And yeah, they want to pick at the person that they think that, okay, they're neutral. They're not going to do too much.
That's a mistake.
And you think you thought wrong.
You thought wrong. Okay.
You thought that.
Wasn't thinking.
Yeah. Very interesting. I think I love the cast. We're going to be watching.
Good.
Okay.
For sure.
And we gonna see what it gives with that. Okay. And I know we're getting close to. I mean, are we getting close to Pride? I mean, it's starting to get a little warmer. I know you do a lot of the Newark Pride. Is there anything in store? Have you been in any meetings or anything?
I actually have a brunch meeting tomorrow. We're about to set up our outline so that we can start, you know, getting ready for Pride in Newark and Pride season in general. This year is a little different.
Yeah.
Because there's so much happening in our country right now. And there are like 4 or 5 states that have literally trying to pass trans laws and trying to literally revoke LGBTQ rights in some of these states. And we're so privileged that we live in New Jersey, where Governor Murphy has codified a lot of protections that will secure, you know, LGBTQ youth housing, trans health issues and insurance, protecting us when it comes to employment, gay marriage, things like that. So I really wanted to make sure that this Pride is gonna have a little different feel to it. But because we were able, the past couple of years, like my team has been able to do an amazing job. We kind of have our blueprint already. So now it's just about plug and play and executing. And, you know, last year after that, I got invited to the governor's mansion and got a chance to network with people who really want to see Newark become an example for how we are, you know, moving policies forward to protect our trans youth, to protect our LGBTQ seniors, and like really making pointed efforts to make this place an equitable place for all citizens. I was at the White House last month for a Black History LGBTQ briefing. And it's funny because 10 minutes after that trailer dropped on Wednesday, I got an email inviting me back to the White House. So I'll be at the White House on Wednesday for another briefing specifically about New Jersey and what we're doing here to push policies forward, and also to advocate for the Equality Act that we're trying to get Congress to pass expeditiously, because, you know, without those federal protections, these states are literally rolling back the hands of time and putting a lot of lives in danger. You know, if you have a child whose parents have agreed to assist them in as far as their transition, not about surgical reassignment, but just making sure that they're on their hormone treatments and they have access to their psychotherapist, working with them on their social transition, and then the state comes in and it becomes a law where it says, oh, well, you have to stop that. Stopping them mid-transition can cause more harm, right? It also takes away parents' rights to raise their children and to do what they think is best for their kids. It ostracizes an entire demographic of America. And so, like, we're in a different space, and there's nothing to really, I won't say be afraid, because I feel like the change has already happened. You know, we're here, we're present, but this isn't a time to retreat. This is the time to strategize. This is the time to galvanize our communities, bring communities together from different cities, different states. And when we talk about Pride started as a protest and not a party. And so this year's feel is going to be a little different. That's all I can say in the city of Newark.
I know that's right.
And so I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm honored to be in this place that I'm in right now for such a time as this. So I'm excited for Pride this year. And there'll be an announcement coming out soon when we release what our theme is, and then all the stuff will start.
Well, all right.
And Amma's on that team too, so she's sitting there. Amma has been my vending chair for the last 2 years. Yeah, she worked with vendor relations for the last 2 years, and last year she did an amazing. Amma was going through it, but she literally worked her ass off from the hospital bed with a laptop. She still managed to get things things done.
I had my best friend go grab my laptop. I'm like, go get that laptop, house keys and everything. Get the laptop from me. Get the charger. Have everything.
But it's people. This crazy. What's funny to me is every year I'm kind of like, oh God, we got to do this again. But people now, the same people who told me that they didn't even know there was a Pride in Newark, 4 years ago. This is our 18th year. There are people who lived here who didn't even know we had it, and now they're asking like, so we still having Pride? I haven't seen anything. Like, do you need some money? Do you need some blah blah? So I'm like, I'm glad
more engagement.
I'm glad that we've been able to energize our city.
Honestly, when he asked me and was like, you want to be the vendor chair, I was like, they really do this down here? And things, I grew up downtown Newark, so I'm like, really? This happens down here? We go all the way to the city and we got something happening there. I didn't know. I'm not even gonna hold you. I didn't. Yeah. The last two Prides, well, the last one I couldn't attend, but from what I saw were successful, and it was definitely events where it opened their eyes to see, what was going on, because they threw on a lit event with lit people, of course. And the thing is, they make it like a week-long event. It's just not one day. You know what I mean? It's not one day. It's something to do every single day, which I think was exciting for me too, because it's like, okay, we all have jobs. I mean, where we grew up, where we're living right now. I mean, I'm not in my mansion yet. We're gonna speak that into existence, but it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. God got it. But like, we have to work in order to maintain, in order to fund our dreams. We have to work. So like, being that, it is a week-long event, and if I can't make it this day, I can definitely go to the event this day. It was awesome. It was a privilege to put my city on. Like, I love it. Anything that has to do with putting my city on is amazing for me.
Yeah. And we did that, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful to everybody. I'm glad that the city now understands the value of these types of events and how affirming it is. Because you can't tell us that Newark is a safe place, or that you're interested in creating more diversity and highlighting inclusion if the people don't get a chance to see themselves in anything or in any spaces. And so I think what Pride has done, or what we've done here in Newark, is we've shown people that these are the people, these same people that you may not even know, because nobody owes to tell you what their sexuality is. Like, we don't owe that to anybody, right? It's your own personal business. But it allows businesses to be able to see, like, oh snap, like they come in here all the time, like. And I've never been able to like put community together, or introducing LGBTQ business owners. Like, oh, I didn't know you were family. Like, I didn't know this was a place that I could come and feel safe, because in your brain, you're like, oh, it's Newark and you got to be careful and you got to blah, blah. Like, no, like there are spaces and places here that will welcome you, where you can feel safe, you can have fun, where you feel valued, where you can share and exchange ideas, and you can really make change happen. And so yeah, I'm happy for Pride. I also have another announcement coming out later this year. Actually, I may announce it at Pride. I'm gonna announce
Oh,
that. Pride. I just thought about something. I'm gonna announce it at Pride. But there's a lot of work to do, and I just feel like I'm in a position now where I'm able to do it and dedicate a little more time to it. So there's definitely going to be some new things. The doll is going to be dolling all year.
Period. Okay, let's put that bomb on it. All right. Now, period. Now I know you talked about it briefly, but like, you know, just the current state of like how the queer community is under attack now. I mean, before it wasn't as noticeable as it was. Like, I think what it started for me was the Roe v. Wade situation, right? I said, oh, they're going after them. They're going after women. Oh no, we next. We next. And this is exactly what we're seeing in Florida and Texas and all these states. And it's not even just happening in America. And I just want to segue into our first topic because I know that, you know, the anti-LGBT law in Uganda. I mean, this is happening worldwide. This type of situations. And for those who may not know, you know, we'll bring it up. Uganda lawmakers on Tuesday approved the world's harshest anti-gay laws, making some crimes punishable by death, imposing up to 20 years in prison for people identifying as LGBTQ. I made a video about this and I was appalled by that, child, because the comments that I was getting on TikTok, as progressive as TikTok is, right? People saying, "Oh my goodness, this is a win for Uganda. This is what God wants, and this is amazing." Like, you know, shout out to them. They need to do this here in America. I'm like, well, they're getting close to it. I mean, it's scary. It's not scary in the fact that I'm scared that somebody's going to attack me. It's scary that there are people that are God-fearing that would want to see people die. Like, this is literally, and I don't mean to be inflammatory, but this is a genocide. This a lot of people will die.
Yeah. I think that first of all, when I saw the news about Uganda, I wasn't surprised. But you know, there for years there have been anti-LGBTQ laws. A lot of African states and territories where they would literally, it's literally against the law, right? The issue that I had with this one was that it's not about being caught in homosexual acts or like something that's indecent, like indecent exposure or something like that. It's literally a law saying if you are a person that identifies as LGBTQ or can be affirmed that you are a part of this community, it's breaking the law. It's like, how do you tell someone? That's like, to me, it's the same as if there was a law saying, hey, if you identify as black, I don't care if I can prove if you black or not, you're going to jail or I'm going to kill you. Because when you attack someone's identity, something that's intrinsic to them, you're literally dehumanizing them. That's what you're doing. You are saying this is because when we talk about stuff that's illegal, that means that you've committed a crime against them. You've acted against something, or you've either put someone in harm's way, you've damaged property. Like that's what laws are supposed to be for, to keep people safe and to protect stuff. That's it. So when you make a law that literally attacks the identity of a person, and then they try to use God as the shield, it's egregious, and it's the evil they talk about. Yeah, this is evil what you're doing, and utilizing religion as a blanket or a shield. I think what people aren't expecting, what we're gonna see is the veil is dropping. And it's like you same people who you want to go after the gays or the LGBT community as a deflection about what it is that you're doing, about all the corruption that you're doing, about the all the immorality that you live in your life. It's easier to focus on another vulnerable person or somebody else. It's deflection. And especially here in America, I'm so surprised by all these Republican lawmakers who are known to have male escorts and abortions and drug habits and all these things, and you want to push this as if it's an issue of morality or safety, when reality is it's never really been safe, right? But the rolling back of protections just make it easier for them to get away with harming us. And so,
and then they use kids as a pawn in this. This is disrupting kids' lives, and then kids don't need to be seeing this. And this is, when we get into the whole conversation with the drag shows, the kid drag shows, or whatever the case is.
And I'm like, y'all the same kids that watch Bugs Bunny be a woman on cartoons all the time.
I mean, Martin,
Martin, Tyler Perry, Martin Short, like they've all done it. You know what I mean? But it's not about drag. It's not about that. It's about them trying to impose their form of morality on people who may not subscribe to that. It's just like the Christian Crusades all over again, where you're trying to force people into a covenant of believing something that you believe just because you feel that they should, right? And I was raised Christian, and what I took away from Christianity was that God created me the way he created me because he already knows what I'm supposed to be doing. Like the path he has for me is blessed, right? I'm living a blessed life, right? Then you have other people who profess to be Christians who are barely making it through their own struggles, but it's easier for them to point a finger as opposed to taking accountability for themselves and not realizing that God created all of us for our own thing. What you believe and your relationship with God has nothing to do with me or anybody else. Yeah. No one is telling you not to raise your kids to be Christian. The only thing we are saying to you is raise your children the Christian way, because Jesus loved everybody. His disciples were literally whores, thieves, murderers, homosexuals, tax collectors, right? So you're talking about picking and choosing, like y'all need to pay attention to what's going on. The same people y'all don't like, these are the people that Jesus chose. What is wrong with y'all?
And what I was looking at a lot of my comments, and I choose not. I glance because I want to see what people are talking about, and it's just like, Jesus would do this. I'm like, he would do what? Now I don't read scripture like that. I don't profess to be no Christian or nothing, but I'm just saying, like, I just know Jesus loves all. Yeah, he. I mean, we talk about Mary Magdalene, like she was, was
a prostitute. She was a city girl, scammer. Okay,
Jesus would have walked pride. He would have definitely walked in pride.
He would. He definitely would.
So to see them say this, and it's just like, oh, this is a good thing. No, it's not. And what I found interesting too was I read this from NPR. They said that one of the potential reasons why or what influenced this law was that there was American evangelicals who would come to Uganda and influence their beliefs.
Yes.
I'm just like, and we got black people saying, "Oh my goodness, this is a strike from or getting back at white colonialism." It's still going on.
No, but the religion that you have was based off of European colonization.
I don't understand people. I really
I guess democracy is an American and a European concept that there's a reason why America has forts and bases and training camps in a lot of these countries. We militarize them, we support them, and we give them aid, and we dismantle whatever government they have, and we put into place democracy and use the word freedom as a way to market it, because it gives you freedom. It gives you freedom of voice. You get a chance to choose. However, what they don't tell you is that under that same banner, when it comes to religion and morality and how that influences policy, that is how they pick and choose when and where to enforce oppression. So there's supposed to be a separation between church and state. If you look at American politics right now, the evangelicals, especially during the Trump era, the evangelicals had a whole lot of power because they want to protect their way of life, and they want to enforce that as the standard for every American, which goes against what America is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about freedom of religion. That means if I don't want to believe in Jesus, I don't have to. So if this your book, you're a Christian, This is what you believe. Live your life that way. Don't create laws based off of what you believe that impact me, because now you're trying to force me into a system that I have already said I don't want to be a part of. You're now taking my freedoms away and then prosecuting me for it. So I just want people to be really aware of how this is working, right? All things are connected, but how this is working. And it's the same way Jesus was crucified. He was crucified by heretics, by people who profess to be of the Jewish faith. Those are the people that hung him. The same Jews that he was raised with, they hung him because he did something unconventional. He said, wait a minute, God loves the Jews and the Gentiles. He loves all of us. God is commanding us to love everyone as we would love ourselves. They didn't like that, because with being a chosen generation or being a chosen people, there's a status and there's a system in place where you are allowed to oppress. The same way we talk about racism in America, it's the same thing when it came. Like I said, it's the same thing. It was tribalism then. We're the chosen people of God, which means we have the authority to tell you what to do and take your stuff. When we go to other countries, third world countries, or if we get involved in wars, we're doing the same thing. With the military, we're America. We're the greatest and we're the strongest country on earth, which means we have the authority to come in here and take your stuff. When white people came over here, oh, Native Americans, oh, this is nice. What's blah, blah? Oh, well, we're from Europe and we have these ships and we blah, blah, blah. God chose us and we have the authority to come over here and steal all your land, rip your women, give you all the things. Yeah. It's the same thing that's happening over and over again. The difference this time is that I feel that we are living in an age of information where people have access to know better and to be aware of what's going on. If you don't understand what's going on, ask questions, seek out information so that you won't be one of the people that's taken to slaughter because you didn't know what was happening, right? So I think that we're a different generation. I also think that the kids too, the reason that they want to go after the kids and like use the kids as a pawn is because the kids have now access to that same information. They've been learning about critical race theory online. So you're talking about, we don't want this in the schools. You think these kids don't use YouTube on their iPads? Okay. You think you think they don't see the TikToks where we're talking about these particular issues that we're trying to hide from them? You think that kids, if you were in 8th grade and you found out that a book was going to be banned, you're not going to try to read that book? You're not going to go try to figure out what this book was about? Why are they trying to tell me I can't read this? What's in it? You get what I'm saying? I think that there's a rude awakening that's about to happen. I think that it's going to be the youth that are going to lead us in the right direction. And I think as now that we're a little older, we have to make sure that, you know, we hold true to who we are and that we don't cower, that we don't run, but literally stand up for ourselves and say, this is not right. This is why this isn't right. And this is not going to happen here.
Period. Oh my goodness.
Many words about it. They call this great.
Oh,
okay.
I pressed that button by accident, but no, that was and people got bigger fish to fry, right? You know, this country, and I don't want to get into other people's countries or anything like that, but they are going through corruption, economic segregation right now. I mean, it's a lot of situations, and y'all are focused on punching down on LGBTQ citizens, and this will, you know, being that saying that, oh, this is a fight against or getting back to white supremacy. It's just like, but black people are going to suffer from this when we're talking about Uganda. Like, it's crazy. You know, we'll definitely keep you guys posted on this topic. Like I said, that really just turned me all the way the hell off.
Right. Well, to your point though, it's still upholding white supremacy. If you putting white supremacy or enabling a black person to become the oppressor with the same ideology, it's still white supremacy. You're just getting black people to do it.
Yeah.
I.e. Candace Owens. That's why we have people like her.
Oh, I can't stand her, child. She got on my nerves this week too. Talk about that poor lady that did that Skims campaign.
Yeah.
And she was handicapped. It was and mind you, this was for Kim to promote her. It was like it was something for people that are disabled. So it was literally a campaign that was designed for somebody in a wheelchair. Oh no, they just want to put anybody in a wheelchair.
For inclusion,
inclusion and identity politics. And I'm just like, girl.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad. It's sad that we live in a world where there are people who really don't want the people of the world to be seen and to have the same rights and the same access and the same value that they have, as if it demeans their value now, as if disabled people or my other minority groups now having an opportunity, it lessens their opportunity. It's like, oh, well, that means if you choose more of them, that means more of us don't get an opportunity. Okay. So you were okay with us not getting opportunities for how long?
Okay.
Y'all say y'all want equality, right? Oh, okay. This is what it looks like.
People don't want equality, they want supremacy, and that's the problem.
Exactly. I think I tweeted something about that last couple weeks too. Yeah. You don't want equality. You want your turn to be the oppressor. So say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Child, let's move on from this, child, because I'm gonna get rid. You know how we get.
But what else is going on?
Well, we gotta talk about your girl, honey. We gotta talk about Beyonce.
Oh,
child, she done parted ways with Adidas.
I saw that. We moving on up, but she partnered up with Balmain.
Well, yeah, that's a good thing. Well, I suspected that this was going to happen because it was reported recently that Ivy Park lost millions of dollars because of a weak demand. And I know you said this before, Derek, because you're very critical about the Ivy Park collection, and that my mom is too. She said, I just think the damn designs are ugly. I'm like, okay, hold on, wait. I mean, and don't get me confused.
It didn't make sense,
right?
It's like if this came out, if it was Lisa Leslie, or if it was like, what's her name? The gymnast. What's her name?
Shit, I think Layla Ali. If she was
Layla Ali. Like if it was an athlete that did Ivy Park, if it was Serena Williams,
okay.
Oh yeah.
If she had a line with Adidas and she did athletic wear or athleisure wear, it would make more sense. It doesn't align with Beyonce's brand. We see her performing on stage, and we know that requires a lot of like conditioning, but I don't see her as a sporty girl. The Balmain collaboration makes more sense because you're the greatest living entertainer at the moment, and you're supposed to be giving us this high value fashion and glam. This makes sense. Her doing sporting wear it didn't make sense, and I never saw people in it. I never saw people wearing Ivy Park, just like the Darion jeans. The only difference was she didn't gift box them to all the famous people like she did Ivy Park. I've only seen people in Ivy Park in reels when Beyonce delivered it to them.
Right.
I've never seen anybody wear Ivy Park anywhere.
I mean, I've seen a couple of people. I mean, but I'm in that industry, so
okay.
That's it. Like I'll see a couple of like models, they'll have it on just like little outfits, running around outfits. I mean, that's too expensive
models
to be running around outfits.
And like, the average, I don't know who she was marketing this to, but like the average Beehive, the stuff was expensive. Okay, I wanted those shoes. I ain't gonna lie, I wanted those. It was the Adidas shoes, and it had like her colors. Like it was like I forgot what color it was. Like
what was the maroon one?
Burgundy, yeah, maroon, yeah. I wanted those shoes so bad. They were so expensive. They were like almost 300 something.
Wow. I mean, but what did you expect? Her tickets are crazy. The prices.
Right. I mean, I would expect. I'm not saying. Well, look. Here's the thing, and I don't. When I bring up this artist, I don't mean to compare, but like the reason why Rihanna's venture out into entrepreneurship like was a little bit more lucrative was because a lot of the shit was cheap. Okay, I was able to get goddamn Fenty skincare for like $20 something. I mean, the makeup was cheap. The what else? The Savage X Fenty, the underwear.
Cheap. It wasn't cheap. It was affordable, not cheap.
Affordable. Okay, there we go.
Affordable. It's taking you back to like Victoria's Secret prices. That's what she was giving you.
Which is why Victoria's Secret is no longer.
Right.
They trying to make a comeback. I heard you.
Right.
She said, "I got this." He carried you out real quick.
And I think also too because she's still pursuing a music career too, and I think that balance, she's gonna put the music first. I think that's just where she's at. And Beyonce's a performer. She's gonna put her all into music, and I think that there was some years where I was just like, "Girl, what's going on with Ivy? We still doing this?" Okay.
Yep, still doing it.
Some people say she should have gotten the wigs. She could have. I mean, it's never too late. Like,
new campaign?
Come on, look, everybody wanted the Beyonce wig at one point.
I'm sorry, I don't. Beyonce, she's never my favorite, but she did that. That's how you put something together. She did that.
You're talking about with the
item card.
The Balmain collection, yeah.
Balmain collection, yeah. I mean, that was a smooth transition. Because literally we found out that she parted ways with Adidas, but then we found out about this collaboration. I'm just like, oh, okay, Beyonce. I'm still
great timing. That's when you got that's when you got a good team. You got a good team who's able to do, because the timing was perfect. Where it was like, oh, okay, the news is now out. It's been finalized. We're parting ways with this. Give me 24 hours. Okay.
Cause a distraction.
Right. Because now it's not even distraction. Like, give me 24 hours. Because once that cover hits, now you'll see it's fine. Because now I'm gonna make some shit y'all really can't afford.
Okay, and won't. Okay. Because some of the stuff that was on there, I was like, and people are trying to put like each outfit to a song. I'm like, because everybody's waiting on them damn visuals.
You're not getting the visuals until the tour.
Well, I'm going on her tour, child. I'm going to the going to be at Met Life over there in Rutherford, New Jersey. Yeah. Okay, we is going to see Renaissance. Okay, I can't wait.
I'm going. I think we're going to see her now in New Orleans.
Oh,
yeah, because we had tickets for MetLife Stadium, and then we ended up getting the other tickets. So we're going to go to New Orleans to go see her.
Okay.
I want to go to the Houston show. I want to go to the Houston show because I want to see if she's going to bring out Lizzo or Meg Thee Stallion or Normani, because they all from Houston. So I was like, oh, go to the hometown show and see what she's going to give. But
that would be cool.
And get drunk and eat good food. Give me some crawfish.
I wanted to go to the one in Philly because it's close and it's it's more feasible. But I mean, I guess I got to go on that train, child. I'm going with my aunt, so it's gonna be a fun little experience. I never went to a concert before. Like,
you going with Aunt I met at your graduation, right?
Huh?
You going with Aunt I met at your graduation?
No. She's not gonna be there.
No, you said you're going with your aunt. I'm saying, is it the one that I met at your graduation, or is it another one?
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. She going. Because when I bought the ticket, because let me tell you something. Because it was a real. I was scared to say. I was like, girl, I don't know if I'm gonna get this ticket. Because I was in the aquarium trying to find a spot, and I told I was like, well, I got the ticket. She said, why you ain't calling me? I want to go too. I'm like, oh shit, okay, come on. We got the ticket real quick. So we're gonna see Beyonce. This is gonna be a life-changing event. But we need to get those visuals though. I'm ready. Like, it's when I tell you, I think our last episode we talked about Beyonce coming back, and then like I guess she ended up dropping the album.
I told you. I'm trying to tell you. Y'all be knowing.
I mean, like it's such a lot of people say it gives Libra energy, and I'm a Libra, so I feel like I connect with this album like I've never connected with a Beyonce album like this.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you I'm listening to that thing daily, America's Got a Problem. When she performed that, I think I might pass out.
Oh, that's my song. Heard you got that.
Okay. But no, we got to get these visuals shot because we got these damn stan accounts on Twitter talking about some. Oh my goodness, I predict that she might drop the visuals. Like, yes, somebody said it was going to drop yesterday. I'm just like, stop lying. Like,
I'm not getting the visuals until the tour kickoff. So
probably gonna be on Netflix.
Just wait on it. I mean, but see, that's another thing too. Is like, because of the deals that have gone public or the obligations that she has, there are two things that may happen. So this tour may be documented as well, which will probably either be sold to, it'll be either part of the Netflix deal or the Disney deal. Because I think she still has one more project she has to give to them.
Mm-hmm.
I think the private show that she did overseas,
That's gonna be a thing.
that could possibly be a special as well. So I mean, you just have to. I mean, at this point, I'm not saying that Beyonce is predictable with trying to be unpredictable. Um, you just have to just wait.
Yeah, just gotta wait.
And I mean, I'm glad that she proved that the music alone was good enough. Like, we want the visuals because Beyonce has trained us to expect visuals with her music. I think she started doing that on B-Day, where that was the first time that she had intentionally made a music video for every song. And then she was inspired by Kanye in his Beautiful Twisted Dark Mind era, where he did a visual album.
Mm-hmm.
And so from there, and then going to Sasha Fierce, where she literally had great videos for the singles, right? But none of it tied into like one story, because you had two sides. You had the contemporary side that she had, and then you had the R&B, hip hop, and pop side of the album. By the time we got to Four Child, we were just like, okay, girl, now you got to give me these dance numbers. Once Sasha Fierce came, it's like, oh, you got routines for entire songs?
Yeah, she did.
Give me this, girl. Give me this workout video you just made.
We're expecting it every time, but this time she was like, you're just getting music.
Right. And so Lemonade came, and now Lemonade's like, oh, we getting a movie, we getting looks, we getting choreo, and then this one we ain't got nothing. I mean, Beyonce was a great one. I'll say that Beyonce album was good. That was a good visual album. Kind of. The stories didn't go together, but it was good that we got videos for all of them. But now it's like, y'all can wait. And I think it's good that she's making us wait, because once it drops, it's gonna be a global event. It's a global event. Beyonce, she released the visuals. Y'all acting like she done held these. It'd be the same as if Rihanna just randomly dropped the album from nowhere. It's gonna be a global event because you done made the people wait. Okay, we waiting for this like a tax refund.
Child, yeah. Beyonce, she dropping stuff, our girl dropping stuff too. Okay, Miss Red Ruby the Sleaze.
I know.
I just want to get your little thought on that.
I just need this 15 thing. This lady done gave us 6 singles over the past 2 years. Like, you done gave me half the album, girl. Just give me the album.
Come on. I don't know what's going on, child.
Give me the album.
Anyway.
Damn. Oh, anyway.
Iyanla, child.
Who? Vanzant?
Yeah. When she was trending on social media.
You forgot about her already?
You forgot about her? She done stopped doing the shows, and now we done. Who that? Who?
She in the news. What'd she do?
Well, I mean, some people felt away about what she said on the Breakfast Club when she was like, there's an absence in femininity among Black women, and basically says that, y'all act like men in dresses, and y'all want y'all men to be y'all girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's not really the case. No, that's not the case. And I'll tell you we like dating. No, it's just that it's like the roles have changed. Like, these men, let me not say it like that. Men have become a little bit open in their femininity. Let's go with that. They're being a little bit more soft. They're a little bit more open. And I feel like a lot of women don't know how to accept that. We're so used to men being masculine. You're supposed to be a man. A man is supposed to be doing a certain type of these gender roles. That's what we're used to. So I think the roles change. I don't know what's been going on, but I understand what she's saying. But I don't think, like, maybe it's the way she worded it, but it's just been like a major switch between men and women. Like, women are becoming a little bit more masculine, a little bit more comfortable in their masculine energy, where they feel like maybe Black women, that they have to protect themselves, and this is the only way that I can protect myself, because that's how I saw men protect themselves. And nobody's gonna mess with a man if they, hold their ground. So if I hold my ground, I'm a little bit more aggressive than what your typical female would be. Then I'll be okay, because I feel, and I'll say personally, I don't feel protected by the Black men that I have been encountering. I don't look at them as weak or anything like that. I just feel like they don't protect us like they did back in the 90s, what I would see back in the 90s. So I understand the way some women why they are the way they are and how they're coming off the way they are. But her wording it like that, I don't know, it makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable.
But it's fine.
We're not men in skirts.
But we do have to be okay with. So what I want for our society at this point is to be okay, like to welcome being uncomfortable. We're in this PC place where we don't understand the value of being uncomfortable. Like, you think it's comfortable for a caterpillar to be locked up in a cocoon for 3 months in a tiny space as it's growing, as it's evolving. You think it's comfortable for a baby to be born? It's not comfortable, but it's a necessary part of change and transformation. And when it comes to masculinity and femininity and how we assign particular roles and attitudes and expectations on people just because of how their body is designed, I think that the conversation now needs to be leaning towards, now that we recognize that both men and women can possess and access both feminine and masculine energies and can choose how they show up in this world by which energy they give off most, because that's what we are. It's like, it's not that the men are more feminine now. There have always been men who were able to be empathetic. There were always men who were able to communicate. There were always men who were creative. There were always men who had no problem expressing emotion. Just like there have always been women who can be more guarded or can be more stern or be more tactical. Women who can provide, like, the roles, the expectations and roles have been shifting back and forth all over time. This isn't new. If you look at most African tribes going back thousands of years, the women were in control. And the men, their jobs, like the men were forced to be the protectors. You're the man. Go get this spear. Go get the food. Bring it back. I'm pregnant. I'm raising the babies. I'm making the laws. There were very, very matriarchal families, and men had assigned roles and women understood their roles, because if I'm the one bringing life in the world, you have to protect me, right? Mm-hmm. We can't survive if we out in the wild and I'm the woman that's able to bring life in the world and you let a tiger come eat my ass. No, I need you to be on guard, right? Or if our village is under attack and I have the kids with me, I need you out there fighting to make sure that we're not taken, right? And then there are some villages where the women were the warriors and the men were the ones that made sure that they were, because they were the ones planting, they were the farmers, they were the, you get what I'm saying? Everybody had a job to do. And in certain spaces, the jobs were different. In America, we have a very long history when it comes to Black people, Black Africans coming over here, then watching white people literally destroy our families to weaken us, where you take the man away where he can't protect his family. Because if I take the strongest one, I'm showing I'm going to kill him in front of all of y'all, they can't protect you. So it's part of the download and the thought process generationally. Now, we ain't enslaved anymore, but we moved. You talking about the 90s, the 80s and 90s, where they were locking up Black men for having less than an ounce of weed. They were going to jail for 30 years, 30, 40 years for having a joint in their car. Taking Black men out of the homes and then telling women when they applied for federal or state assistance that if they got a boyfriend or a man, the man can't live in the house with them, because if a man lives in the house, you can't get food stamps anymore. You can't get rental assistance anymore if you have a man in the house. So what happens is, I'd rather make sure that I can feed my kids than let this nigga stay here. Right?
It's systemic.
So it's systemic. It's the conditioning of forcing Black women to have to protect themselves and their families, and also forcing Black men in a space where they don't feel like they're needed. Black women can do whatever. I feel like all people can do whatever they want, right? But when we're talking about the structure of families, we're talking about the expectation of how Black men and Black women are supposed to interact with each other. I kind of got offended when you said that you don't feel protected by a lot of some of the black men that you've encountered, and maybe you're talking about like romantically. But I'm a black man, and you know I'll drag somebody from here down to Trenton all the way to Philly. You know what I mean? Right.
I'm just saying, like, just from seeing and hearing, like, even the conversations that they have, it's like you gotta be there, man. It's just like I think, the way that they talk is just uncertain. You like, is this man really going to like protect me? Is he going to really like, if something like pop off right now, like how safe do I feel with this person?
Right.
And a lot of, like I'm saying, maybe it's just the ones out here in Jersey, but they just, I guess it is the fact that. Okay.
Well, I mean, I think
we had to, back in the day in the 90s, we had to learn to protect ourselves. We had to learn how to do that because our protectors were being taken away from us. And I'm a 90s baby. I mean, that's what I saw. My father was a provider. I mean, he might have not did it the right way, but he was a provider. So in my eyes, I'm always, and it also can be the mentality of how you were raised and what male figures were around you.
Yep.
Like, I didn't have my father around me all the time. So I always had to be that tough girl. Like, you're not going to boss up on me. I've always had this attitude. I've always been the one with the stern personality where it's like, oh my gosh, she's a bitch. She's mean. And it's like, I'm not a bitch. It's just something that I've learned. I saw my mother do it by herself.
Right.
I saw her, she's protected me long enough. So I got to learn how to protect myself.
Right.
Yeah. But do you see how sometimes, do you see how sometimes you get called? Sorry.
You're okay. When people see, I feel like when people see, I would say strong women or women that have to be strong, it's almost like, all right, well, I don't want to deal with that. And then we continue to be strong because if you're not going to deal with it, all right, well, I'm going to continue.
Because you haven't found a space where you can be vulnerable in your femininity.
Right.
Yet. Right.
I don't feel that with anybody. I don't feel like that with people, like the people, period. I have to build like this some type of relationship with you where I feel like I can be vulnerable, because when I'm vulnerable. You get everything. So I get it. You know what I mean? I do get it. And I understand what Derek was saying. It makes so much sense. Because I'm like, him opening his mouth and saying that, I'm like, that's probably why I am the way I am. Like,
I mean, she could have worded it. She could have worded it differently. But as soon as you said, I was like, I understand what she's saying. Especially being a man that was raised in a matriarchal kind of family where I was raised around strong women. Right, my mom was a strong ass woman. My dad was a creative. He, did whatever he wanted to do, whatever. But as I grew up, and even me having to like do my own healing and like doing a lot of unlearning, I had to relearn and really accept how the cards were laid for me. So it made sense to me about, this makes so much sense about me being who I am and how I operate and why I'm able to communicate the way I communicate now is because as a Black male, I was around a lot of strong Black women who were able to communicate. Though now in today's world, it was like, a lot of masculine women. My mom is probably my mom is a girl. Like, you met my mom for your birthday when she came. My mom's always been a girl, but as a single mom, as a single mother, based on the role that she had to play, my mother realized like there's not a man in the house. I'm not going to be bringing niggas around here. I have great uncles. You know what I mean? But my mom was very stern. My mom's very logical. My mom's very practical. And she's like, do this. It has to make sense. Protect your brothers, protect your sister. Like, she instilled that in us in the absence of our father. Right. But what it allowed me to do is, because I knew there were women around me that were willing to protect me. Right. That means I found a place that I could be vulnerable to. I don't have to be as hard. I don't have to be, I ain't got to do all of this, right? Because I ain't afraid of none of you niggas. If I have to step, I can step, right?
And look at the men that do that though, like that put on this show of, I'm super hyper masculine. I think that sometimes when we throw the you're not feminine or you're being masculine around, like it's condescending, because it's like, and it's also a slippery slope, because it's like, girl, what do you mean? So because I choose to work, or because I choose to stand up for myself and say what needs to be said, I'm looked at as masculine. I don't clean, I don't wash dishes, I'm looked at as masculine, or I choose to do whatever. vice versa with men. I'm like, because I want to talk back because I feel something. I feel a way about something and I want to vocalize it. I'm now feminine.
Right. Yeah, I think
we got to label it something else.
It's the assignment. It's the assignment of activity to emotional expression, and I think but that also goes in this. Child, let me tell you, I'm not gonna say everything lines back up with white supremacy, but patriarchal imperial capitalism and supremacy. There is a form of this is what a man is. This is what a woman is. This is what a man does. This is what a woman does. This is how a man feels. This is what a woman feels. And it's rigid. There's no in between. It's very black and white. When you marry these structures and you over time, it becomes the expectation. You look at people like the Orthodox Jews or the Hasidic Jews, there's a reason why they all dress the same, because the men look like this. They're allowed to do this. The women look like this. They can't wear their hair. That's something they teach their kids. They protect it, right? They've been able to do it for hundreds and thousands of years now, because that is how that's how they built up their society, and that's what they protect, right? And they guard against it, regardless of what's happening in the rest of the world, right? They're not out trying to tell you should do this, you should dress like this. They don't care about that. What they're gonna say is, well, for me and my house, this is what we do. I found somebody that was raised in this, that agrees. We want to have children that carry this on, right? If the child goes up and says, I want to do something else, they go out in the world and they keep going, right? Now we haven't been allowed to do that in a way, because what we associate our freedom with is the freedom to tell other people what to do. You a man dressed like that in skinny jeans? Oh, you ain't a real man. Why? What makes me less real than the one that's sagging and showing his ass to every nigga that's on the street? What's the difference? Right? So it's not real. It's all constructed. It's not real. And I think the moment that we collectively decide none of this shit that we were made to believe it's not real, in a sense where it's moving us forward in any way. It's not moving human evolution forward. The fight right now is to keep us from progressing. Keep us. That's why you have conservatives and progressives. To conserve means to keep. Conserving. Hey, we went too far. Let's bring it in.
Yep.
Progression means, okay, girl, this may be new territory, but we have to keep moving forward. And some people use fear to keep us from moving forward. So all of that ties into what we were talking about earlier in the conversation, back to the LGBTQ rights, back to this masculinity versus femininity thing. As human beings, if we're going to evolve, we have to become comfortable with being uncomfortable, because in those uncomfortable moments, we're able to have conversations, dialogues, expressions, and reflections that could lead us to a new solution forward, so that we don't go back and be stuck for another 1,000 years. Just something to think about. But I didn't want to get too deep on y'all. I know this is an entertainment podcast.
I love it. You over here, you got me over here writing down the my.
No, for real. Yeah.
Put this down here.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about this because it bothered me, because I usually, like, everything this woman says, I'm like, yes, she right about that. This one, I was like, okay, this is she's somewhatly dog whistling a lot of these black male podcasters that say that, oh, well, you know, the modern woman or the Western women, they're masculine, and that's why we got to go to this country to get beat. I'm like, child, it's a mess, and I hated that she kind of validated their beliefs, because what she said was what a lot of these black male podcasters be doing. They be saying. I don't know if you noticed, like the Fresh and Fits, all them.
Did you see the one with the girl where the rapper with the blue hair was there, and then the Christian, like, so to your point, I think what the mistake is, and I mean, I probably make this mistake sometimes too, is like the generalization of women, men, black people, black men, black women, where, as we have to keep in mind, we are not a monolith. We are all able to be different, have different ideas, different opinions, different expressions. And so it's always best to say some, there are some women who lead with masculine energy. there are some men that lead with their feminine energy. They may be a match for each other. They may be.
Yeah, she should have worded it like that.
Right.
That
Because
way you
if
would
it,
be like, all right, well, I might not be her, but I get what you're saying. You know what I mean?
right. You know what I mean? And there are some men who exert their masculinity in a different way, or in a more I'm trying not to say stereotypical, but in a more traditional way, if that makes sense. Okay. Traditional. They exert their masculinity in a more traditional way, as a provider, being stoic, not thinking through, being logical and not emotional. Like the more traditional way of what manliness looks like or has been taught to them, right? And that's great for a woman who wants to just live in her feminine energy. It makes sense. If you're a woman and you want to live in your feminine energy and also have a family and feel protected by a man who lives in his masculinity, do that. But leave the rest of us the fuck alone. We don't care. Like, girl, we don't care. Like, do that. Find your tribe, find your people, and leave the rest of us alone. That's gonna be my message. I'll go to the White House and say that
everyone has a choice to be, however they want to be, and I think that's
find your people and leave us the fuck alone.
Leave us alone,
please.
All right, let's get into the mess, child. Let's get into the reality TV. Now, have you been following the Xscape and SWV show? I mean, in any capacity, like whether it is watching or just seeing what's going on social media?
I've just been seeing snippets, and let me tell you something. It is a mess.
I love it because I knew it was coming. I knew it.
So
I never know. Okay. I never knew they had beef. I never knew this.
I did, because I remember when they first had their show and it was like the sisters versus Candy. But let me just give y'all the tea of what's been going on. Okay. So the Xscape show has started. I mean, we're like 3 episodes in. I've been watching every week, child. And there's some drama with the Xscape ladies. Okay. So first of all, there's tension between Tasha and Candy. There's tension between LaTocha and her sister Tamika, because Tamika's over here saying that she stole $30,000 in royalties money. Okay. And just the group just feels a way about LaTocha essentially having like a solo gospel album. So everybody that made their little videos on the side of the show, Candy did her little thing talking about whatever the hell she was talking about. I think the mask is coming off of Candy. Candy is not a damn angel. I think that she is definitely pulling some strings behind the scenes. LaTocha ain't no better. But after watching her video, because she has responded to everything that the girls have been talking about, the show and everything, coming for production, coming for Candy and Tamika. Okay, so she basically said production is shady. The first scene that she taped was when they were at their mother's house, when she was trying to, extend the olive branch and hug her sister, whatever, and Tamika was feeling away. But the way that it came out, we first seen her when she met up with SWV, and LaTocha was being real dismissive towards Tamika. So, I mean, her word against production, I don't know who's lying. It seemed like all these girls, they got their own little story, and it's really hard to follow, like, whose side is on who. She debunked the whole $30,000 thing. Now, to be honest, I do think she did took that money. I do.
She took that money.
And I think that mom got a little piece too, because she was over here defending her, defending LaTocha. And she was defending LaTocha.
Mommy and my mother. You give her a little money.
And that boyfriend. She basically comes for Candy singing too. I was like, oh, child. Says she was crying to Jermaine Dupri back in the 90s because she wanted to sing lead. Sounds about Candy. I mean, it's just a group. It's a lot going on.
But did you see Candy's YouTube where she really she was like she went off about that, and she was saying how most of the songs that they did on a couple of albums, she sang lead on them. She pointed them out. She wasn't lying.
Well, I think it was the semantics of whether Tasha was upset or felt a way about Candy singing lead, and it was more so about, no, I'm not upset about you singing lead. You're upset because I got asked to sing lead. You sing lead, it's fine. The issue was that when she would sing lead, Candy would have an issue with it. So So Candy going off and saying, well, I sang lead on this song, this on this song. Why would I be mad about you singing lead when I sang lead on most of these songs? Like, no, girl, the reason you sang lead on most of these songs is because you got upset when I did sing lead. That's why you sing lead on most of these songs. But to be honest, but Tasha's a better singer. So so let's end that right there. Tasha's a better singer, hopefully.
She's a better
Candy is a great writer. I think that what happens with groups, especially when as you get older and everybody wants to have their own, everybody grows into their own space. I love how Tiny has stayed out of the fray. She's like, bitch, I'm a songwriter. I can sing. I'm getting my bread. What we doing? Right? I'll figure out shit out if we can get this bag. Like you said, like you think the mask is coming off of Candy. It's so crazy. I'd be looking at the comments and people act like Candy's constantly under attack. I was like, well, everybody can't be lying about you. Like, people behind the scenes are saying that this is what they've experienced of you. And anytime these people come forward and say these things, she brushes it off like, oh, I ain't worried about blah, blah, blah. And then when being addressed like face to face, like we've seen at these reunions when you got to deal with the shit face to face, she starts there crying, talking shit. And you'd be like, we don't have, listen, they ain't all lying.
I just feel like, girl.
Right. Right. Girl,
like
they not all lying on you. And I think that Candy is brand forward. So whatever she does, she's always going to think about her brand and how to protect and deflect anything that can harm her brand or reputation because it's her bread and butter. But, you know, watching the show, I hope, because like I remember I went to the Great Xscape tour when they came here. I was here when they performed with, I think, who performed with them that night? It was Tamar. I think it was Tamar, Monica, and Xscape.
Shoot, don't bring up Tamar, child. That was a whole topic too.
And it was great. It was a great show.
I was about to say, what about you?
Tamar and Candy, and I mean, like I said, like you said, everybody has had dealings with this person. Even when you want to bring up Nene, Nene said that Candy was being real spiteful behind the scenes with the whole Real Housewives of Atlanta season. That was her last season. Candy, you are
the problem.
The problem, and LaTocha may be the problem too.
Yeah,
you know, she in some aspects when it comes to her,
that's ego. They're having ego battles.
Yeah,
it's just ego battles. But when it comes to her and her sister, every time I think about it, I think about that clip when Nene was in Dwight's face. You gave Greg $10,000. You gave Greg $10,000. Like that's what it's given very much. Like I was like, now some stuff y'all need to keep in y'all family, okay? Because now everything is spilling out.
That mama, she said, cut the damn cameras off. I'm
right.
Like,
don't be talking now. Y'all now see
telling family business.
Right. Now, I ain't signing up for that. I'm at my house and spilling the beans trying to get us
and
locked
I gotta
up.
go to church on Sunday and hear about this.
Right, right. No, the part for me was when Tamika was like, "You still can go to jail."
You said you still
can go to. You want to go to jail? Okay, because I got the receipts.
Well, LaTocha's response to that is like, you know, my sister lies a lot, and she had pulled up receipts of LaTocha saying, you know, I was wrong on that, you know, lying about Candy and stuff like that.
Lying about a group member sleeping with a producer is not the same as saying my sister stole $30,000 from me. It's not the same.
Yeah, because that's definitely
it's a different
career ending. I mean, like connections, all that. You was a thief. Like that's a real big accusation.
Yeah. But I'm just praying that SWV don't pull out on their ass. They like, we too old for this shit.
I think they really the thugs of the whole.
You know what got them?
They really pull
you know what got them though? You know what got them? Because when Candy was talking about that damn, well, I feel like we should get top billing. That bothered the hell out of me because I'm like, girl, let's be clear. Like SWV had way more hits, and if you want to talk about, oh well, y'all had hits in the '90s, look up Spotify, look up the streams. Right. They have 3 million. Y'all still at 800,000.
They still, SWV still that girl. Music still getting sampled. I mean, I ain't heard. I don't know. I maybe missed it, but I ain't heard a Xscape song being sampled yet. That became a hit.
But, our booking fee is high.
Okay, but that's right. But that's business, though. That is business. So I will say I'm not playing devil's advocate, but on a business standpoint. So say that you two are a group, right? Y'all a group, and I'm an artist by myself, and I've been out for 20 years. Y'all been out for like 5 years, 15, 5 years, whatever. Y'all are more popular. You know what I'm saying? You're more relevant right now. The people love you. And your booking fee a show is $10,000. That's how much that's your booking fee, $10,000. Right? And for me, I'm not as relevant right now, but culturally, I'm more culturally relevant than you are. And my booking fee is only $5,000, right? So if someone wanted to book us together, what most people think is like, oh, that's just $15,000, right? It's like, no, because if we're gonna co-headline this, if I'm going to be on the tour with them, and I'm more culturally relevant than they are, I can say for the show, I want $10,000 as well. I want a co-headline, which means I want us to have equal billing. You paying them $10,000, you paying me $10,000. Right? So that's what SWV was saying. It's like, well, listen, yeah, y'all's booking fee is more. Candy's thing is, well, we can't bring our booking fee down to meet y'all. SWV's like, well, we didn't ask you to do that.
Period.
We didn't ask you to do that. Who said that?
We said we wanted the same thing.
We want the same thing that you're getting. Well, it's 4 of us and it's 3 of y'all. And so what that mean? Y'all got any new music coming out? I didn't think y'all did.
Not at all.
Welcome to the Legends Tour. And I think that it's right. So it's about handling the business. But I think that SWV was kind of insulted. I think it's the way that Candy presented the information, as if SWV isn't deserving of being at top billed with them, right? And Candy was like, well, this is, because of the show, we bring you, bring you relevancy, the verses and blah blah blah, and SWV's kind of come on, it's SWV. That's like, I can't even imagine Destiny's Child going on tour with TLC and having this kind of argument. Can you imagine Beyonce telling T-Boz, like, I think Destiny's Child should have top billing? It should be Destiny's Child with TLC. Can you imagine? You want a what now? Or In Vogue? Destiny's Child featuring In Vogue. Girl, if you don't get
if you don't change that feature into "and" motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't know because they got the wild card. Destiny's Child got the wild card now because of Beyonce.
They got Beyonce. Now you know damn well if Beyonce. First of all, Beyonce ain't coming. Okay, you gonna get the Destiny's Child. It's gonna be Kelly, Michelle, Solange, and maybe LaToya. LaTavia.
Oh, I thought. Oh, it's LaToya. Oh, my bad.
You would need people that can sing. No shade. I'm talking about. I ain't mean it like that. I'm talking about like that can sing like lead. Like
okay.
You know what I mean?
So Beyonce's not in this conversation. Okay. Right.
Beyonce wouldn't be. It was a hypothetical, but it's doubtful. It's doubtful. Because I mean, Destiny's Child opened up for them before, so it's like that's another thing. Like Xscape came out, they opened up for SWV, so it's like that was just a business move that Candy was trying to make. It just didn't land well. You can't land well like that with Legends. You can't do that.
Yeah.
It also goes back to how you're wording stuff. They're not trying to. And they're not gonna try to hear anything you're saying if you're belittling them. Like you're belittling them.
Right. That's why Coco was like 30 million records, child. What you talking about? 30 million records. I said, y'all, and it's funny because they're going through the same thing. Xscape's going through the same thing that SWV went through. Because Coco left and did gospel. So it's like you got LaTocha right now. Y'all figuring this out. But hopefully through the season we see them kind of take on more of like a mentor, a mentoring role with Xscape to kind of bring them through this, because they've already done it. They've experienced it and come back together to make the money. But yeah, the drama is dramaing, even down to LaTocha's husband's mistress doing Tasha K, and it's just a lot. It's like this show came and just
not LaTocha's mistress.
Yeah, like
I seen that interview with.
It's just a lot. I was like, damn, Candy is boring as hell. But when she get around the right people, it's the people that you watch.
I ain't never seen her so lively.
No, Candy's still boring. I'm so sorry. I don't know how many more shows they're gonna put this lady on. Candy is boring. Candy herself is boring, but the people she be around, child.
And I think let's be clear. They're talking about your relevancy now. Your relevancy is because you've been a Real Housewives of Atlanta for like X amount of years. Tiny has been on a show for X amount of years. You built a fan base. You built a new fan base. But I bet you any amount of money that half of them fan bases that y'all done created, they don't know a lot of y'all songs. They don't know a lot of y'all catalog. They know you because of Housewives. Okay, and okay. They just want to see you, honestly. They're gonna do a little two-step when they hearing your song. I don't know the song, but like it's Candy, so I'm like, oh my god, girl.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, I like you from Real Housewives of Detroit. You'd be like, bitch, who you know who that is? Like, yeah, that's Diana. Like, no, bitch, that's Diana Ross. She was a Supreme. Like, oh, okay.
Right.
You'd be like, oh, okay.
And the way production we have Candy, like when they said, oh, go out and play my pickets, I'm like, girl, no, we what?
Child.
That girl greed, okay. That girl. I mean, look, make your money. Even if you got a mansion, you got millions of dollars, you still want to go out and play lottery. I mean, it's your money. But I'm just like, Candy. I'm telling you, like I said, that mask is coming off, and I cannot wait for it. I want it to really unfold on this next. It's probably not gonna happen, but soon on Real Housewives of Atlanta, that will unfold, child. And that will be the end of Candy. That'll be the last season.
Well, she gets the villain filter this season, apparently.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. It's her turn. It's her turn.
It's definitely.
It's her turn. So can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I can't wait.
You don't care. It's another check. Okay.
That's it.
I'm out here. We're gonna get that Billy Go Cry child. Well, I just feel like you girl. Like when she did. Oh God. Well, I mean, I got one more topic to talk about. I mean, it's really like it's about the TikTok ban, child. They about to ban TikTok. I'm about to be out here. I done. This is now the second time they tried to ban TikTok.
So, did they say why the reasoning behind it? Because honestly, I haven't heard about this.
Data protection.
So basically what happened was what's going on is, many members of Congress, they're citing concerns of privacy for American data protection for children online in connection with the Chinese Communist Party. So they think because, okay, the person that owns TikTok is Chinese, I believe, and they think that somehow the data from TikTok is being sent over to China. Well, there's no proof of that, right? The man grew up in, I think he said he was from Singapore. He ended up moving to Europe to go to college, and then he ended up coming to America, married somebody from Virginia. I mean, yes, he's Chinese, but it's not like, I don't think he's well, we don't know. We don't know what's going on, but
he's not compromised, and I think that, and so they're posing this as a national security issue. Is that if Americans have accepted the terms and conditions to have their data accessible to this Chinese run, because it's still a Chinese owned and run company, right? China still has governance over TikTok. So when you talk about the FCC or the Federal Communication Commission, right? Commerce Commission, sorry. There are certain rules that are in place that are supposed to be protecting data, and there have been data leaks and breaches on that platform before, right?
Okay.
And so right now, just when you have to think about the context and where we are in global affairs. Right now, America is literally aiding an adversary that is aligned with China. So you have Ukraine and you have Russia in this war. You have the United States here, and then you have now China here. So it's literally like we're here now without without so many words. We're all participating in a war, which means that you have to question everything. You have to think about national security. That's why the whole Chinese the air balloon thing was such a big deal. Because why is it over here? Why are you having an information balloon over here? Could this be a potential attack? Is this a surveillance? Like, are they doing tactical things with Russia and are going to align themselves with North Korea? Because you have to understand there's always going to be the struggle for power, and our American data is important. And so that's why looking at what are the opportunities for these breaches to occur, TikTok is right now the largest platform in the world, the most used social media platform in the world, which it means that there's a lot of data that they have access to.
Yeah, 150 million people are on TikTok.
Right. So as far as how are they going to use that data? So that's what the congressional hearings are for. And I think that's going to determine whether or not do this investigation, whether or not there's going to be a TikTok ban. If they're not able to prove that there has been significant data breaches or that this data has not been sold or used for any malicious reasons, then I don't think it'll stand, because then they'll be in violation of free enterprise.
Yeah.
And free enterprise and access. So I think it's something to watch closely. If they shut down TikTok, the only thing you can expect that there's going to be an American boom on Instagram, because that's why we got Reels. Like that's why once Meta bought Instagram, or once Facebook bought Instagram, they became Meta. They started replicating some of the technology of TikTok just in case TikTok got banned.
Well, here's my problem, and I'm glad you brought up Instagram, because that's been a whole thing. First of all, fuck Instagram. Anyway, Zuckerberg, one of the main reasons why they're doing these hearings right now is because he lobbied them to do it. Like, he literally got the government to literally look at TikTok and was like, okay, we might need to ban you. Okay. He's the one, because everybody's on TikTok now. Nobody's really on Meta, Facebook, Instagram right now. TikTok is eating a lot of these social media apps up, and so they came together to try to ban TikTok. And this is because they couldn't get it in sales, they couldn't get it in people using the app, so they had to get them like this. And that's where it comes disingenuous too, because it's like, are you really trying to protect the citizens, or are y'all just trying to make sure that your apps
eliminate competition? So also I think two things can be true at one time. So I think it could be that. But there also, if you remember the hearings that Mark Zuckerberg went through before Facebook and Instagram merged and became Meta, about their security breaches and how they were doing their data. So if me being an American-based company, if these are the regulations that I have to follow, these are the changes I have to make to maintain my platforms, and and how I have to secure data, and these are steps I have to take, it's not fair that a foreign platform is able to have access to American data and not be regulated just as strenuously. So it should be investigated. Because if Facebook, we've already went through our investigation. Why is no one investigating TikTok when they have access to the most users in the world? They have access to American information as well. And TikToks are being shared on our platforms. That's why the algorithm works way now. Like if you take a TikTok on Instagram, can get suppressed, because if you have the logo of TikTok in there, it'll get dropped in the algorithm.
Instagram started doing that. That's all Instagram. And this is my problem with Instagram right now. They literally are, because I don't know if you know about the bonus program with the Reels. They just stopped that because they believe that TikTok will be banned. They had a bonus program for creators.
I know, I'm part of it, and I like my little check from Facebook on Cash App. Okay.
I heard they turned that thing off.
Did it? When did they?
It was definitely a week or two ago, and I was on it. I was making the money that I was making, and I understand now that you can't have the TikTok watermark because Instagram wants you to use their site.
Instagram.
Yeah, which a lot of people complain that that it's just not as good as TikTok. Like it's better, it's just easier and better to use to make videos on TikTok than it is on Instagram. I mean,
it's easier to find community on TikTok than it is on Instagram.
Yeah, the algorithm is shot. Like you can't, like I remember I posted something on there. You can't even really post pictures on there. You don't get no type of traction. Like literally, I have to literally post a reel. I mean, it's I think that our data is important. I think that type of stuff, protecting Americans' data is definitely important. I don't think that banning the app is the solution. Maybe regulating it a little bit more, because some of the people that were on there that was questioning, that was really hounding him, the CEO, were really making some valid points. I mean, TikTok ain't no angel here. We know that there's suppression of Black creators. Okay, I've been talking about that for as long as I've been on there. They suppress the hell out of Black creators, and they they promote other creators. You know what I'm saying? Or basically white creators. Let's be very clear. I mean, because this happened to all the PLC. That was a good point. I think what some people were saying, oh, well, you guys control the Wi-Fi and you do this and talk, and they're talking about things that they don't understand. And it was kind of like the same thing when they had Zuckerberg on trial, and Zuckerberg was making them look stupid. I wish the CEO of TikTok was a little bit more like Zuckerberg, because he was just letting them have it. Like I was just like, okay, well, you ain't putting up a good fight, child. Like TikTok, I think it might be it. But I think that TikTok creators do not go on Instagram, because the stuff that you were getting, a lot of people that got a lot of followers, big and small, you're not going to get that same reception on Instagram. Instagram is not paying. They are not paying. They stopped the bonus program. I heard about that, and I'm living proof, because I'm looking at my bonus program right now. They said, oh, we'll let you know when there's other offers. I'm like, what the? I just got on this shit. I generated and they owe me too, because you can see when you're on the dashboard and you can see how much money you generated. They only gave me fucking $27. Girl, I had way more in there. And I know, I'm like, Instagram, I know you're not taking out taxes, because TikTok don't do that. I get the exact amount. I don't know. I'm just as a creator, it kind of frustrates me, because the ability for a country to be like, you can't have this no more. I don't like that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it should be regulated. I think it should go away. But this is my thing.
That's why I was like, well, just take your little reels and put them on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be on YouTube a lot more. Okay. If they do ban TikTok, I'm gonna just be on YouTube. I'm gonna be on Instagram to get my little celebrity gossip and stuff like that, send messages and communicate with people. We won't be posting there no more.
Wow.
Nope. Nopey. Okay. We're gonna be on YouTube, okay? And that's what I wanted to do anyway, because YouTube I'm a YouTube partner now, so they pay a little better on this app.
Yeah.
So we just gonna do that. We're gonna do that transition, okay? I'm telling my followers, come here, because this is where I'm gonna be at primarily.
So my move. I don't live there no more.
I don't live there no more. I'm damn sure I ain't gonna be on Facebook. Facebook, oh my god, the algorithm on there is horrible. I mean, that's literally the new MySpace.
Stop, because that was our MySpace after MySpace. When MySpace died out, it was definitely on Facebook.
I feel like I'm on there just to catch up with people that I graduate after, like people from back home.
Like
family. Yeah, family. Well, anyway, this was a good episode. I had a good time. I'm glad you came back.
Of course.
Yeah, it was a pleasure having you.
Thank you. Well, make sure that you all go and stream Gold Rush X. It's available on all music streaming platforms. Look out for the official announcement for the premiere date for The Circle New York season 6. And you can follow me on, I'm scared to say it now, child. Follow me on Instagram.
You can
That's the Derek Doll, right? And then for all other things, Prince Derek Doll, you can find me at www.thederekdoll.com. So thank you all so much for having me.
Yes, period. Hold on, let me get my bomb.
You know you a busy man. So.
His information will all be in the description. I'll just share your link tree because it has everything. Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
All right. We about to get out of here.
Well, I'll see y'all later.
Bye.
Yes, enjoy the rest of y'all weekend.